Now that we know how to complete the square, we're going to use that process to solve a specific quadratic equation. And the first one we're going to look at is x squared plus x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now what we need to do first is to isolate the x squared and the x term in the equation. So we're going to first add 1 to both sides of the equation. So now we're going to focus on the left-hand side and decide what it is we need to add to complete the square. So let's come off to the side here. We see that the coefficient of the x term is 1. So we're going to take 1/2 of the 1, which is clearly 1/2. Then if we square that, we have 1/2. Quantity squared then is equal to 1/4. So we need to add that to the left-hand side to complete the square. And to keep the equation balanced, we need to add the 1/4 to the right-hand side as well. Now you agree, I trust, that the left-hand side will factor into x plus 1/2 quantity squared, and the right-hand side will simplify to 5/4. So now we're back to a form that you've seen a while back. You have a quantity squared equal to a constant, and we can use the method of isolating the square, which we have done now, to finish up. And what we need to do is simply take the square root of each side of the equation. So we'll have the x plus 1/2 is equal to, and don't forget the plus or minus or the positive or negative sign here in front of the square root. So we'll then have x plus 1/2 is equal to, we can simplify the right-hand side here, be positive and negative, the square root of 5, then divided by 2. Then isolating the x, we will subtract 1/2 from each side, or we can think of it as adding negative 1/2 to each side. So we have negative 1/2 plus or minus the square root of 5 divided by 2. And we can then write that in combined form as negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 5 divided by 2. Now if we would like to get a decimal approximation to the solution, what we'll need to do next then is to write those values of x separately. So we have then x being equal to negative 1 plus the square root of 5 divided by 2, and that will approximate to be then, to one decimal place, 0.6. And for the second value of x, we would have x being equal to negative 1 minus the square root of 5 divided by 2. And if you use your calculator, you will determine that the approximation to this solution rounded to one decimal place is negative 1.6.